Good up.
This is Channel 253.
On this episode of the Grit and Grain podcast.
If you had any advice on how to infuse tea appropriately in beer, would you give it out to them? Or would you rather keep it a secret? Because that's totally
no secret. No secrets. I'm not going to tell you.
Fair enough.
No.
Channel 253 is member supported. I'm producer Doug Mackey, and I hope you will show your support by going to channel253.com/membership and join. Thank you.
Welcome to the Grit and Grain podcast, where we explore and celebrate the craft beer industry, community, and history in Tacoma, Washington, and surrounding Pacific Northwest areas. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let's get to it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Grit and Grain podcast, coming to you guys from Peaks and Pints in Tacoma, Washington.
Hell yeah!
It's because...
That sounded like Ron.
Wow. Damn it. Thanks for hanging out. My name is Matt McLaren. I'm here as always with Ron Swarner.
Well, hello.
How's it going, Ron?
I'm holding my lucky envelope, and I'm ready for episode 147.
Yeah.
I know. I can't believe we're almost at 150.
147.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
The winner
fuck
is
are we doing?
everyone.
Yeah, we're closing in on 150. Actually, 150 is going to end up being a great one, now that I think about it. We have a good schedule coming up. Yeah. All right. Bethany is out today. I'm very sad because she's not feeling well. She's 2 whole weeks.
So long sickness.
Yes, 2 whole weeks. This is just the worst.
Yeah.
But please send her your good vibes. She'll be back next week. Phaedra's hanging out. How's it going, Phaedra? Good. Thanks for being on mic.
Sure.
Doug's on mic as well. What's up, Doug?
Him indeed. Good.
Yeah.
Phaedra, how was the Firestone Walker Invitational?
Oh my God, the best time of my life.
Yeah, I can only
Ever.
imagine.
Ever. Yeah.
She came and saw me at the Yoho booth.
At the tent?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
We hung out.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
the tent.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about that.
No.
At the Yoho booth, Ron, shut the fuck up. Also, I'm staying in a hotel this time.
Nice.
And I'm keeping my partial in my mouth.
Can't wait to hear what happened.
Oh, I'll have some fuck up stories when I come back.
Cool.
100%. So yeah, thanks for tuning in today. Awesome guest today, and I'm super excited. This is his second time back. Barry from Lucky and Vault Brewing.
Thanks for having me. Good to be
Totally.
back. Yeah, it's
Thanks
good
for
to see you
coming
again.
back. You too.
I never see you at all.
I know,
Ever.
right? We don't see each other like every week. Yeah, so Lucky Envelope is doing all kinds of great stuff right now.
No kidding.
And by the time this comes out, we'll have, I think, released 4 tea beers. And you're doing all kinds of other stuff. And we have some new fresh beers on. And yeah, man, I'm excited to talk about all the shit you guys are doing right now.
No, I'm excited to be here, so I very much appreciate you inviting me.
Totally.
And I got to carpool with Shauna.
Nice.
Which is just such a win. Yeah. Such a win. You're like,
Did you say so many gummies?
So, I mean, not weed gums.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
And so much hourglass.
just like candy, just bags
Yes.
of candy.
Oh, of course, yeah. We're gonna have to hit up Olive Garden after this, after all those coming.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever told you guys this. This is a dumb Olive Garden story. So Mason.
Is this a fuck up?
No, I'm kind of.
Okay.
I don't know. Is it? I don't know if you're a good parent or a bad parent if your kid gets to like double digits in age and he's never had Olive Garden.
Bad
So it's a
parent.
good parent. Bad parent.
Bad parent.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought bad parent. Arena thought good parent. So when Mason was 10, we took him to Olive Garden because he was like, I see this all the time and I want to go. And I've seen like commercials for it.
Yeah.
So we took him to Olive Garden, and then he had like, I don't know, the cheese bread or the bread with like tomato dip, and then he had like spaghetti, and then he had like I think salad with it that has like the cherry tomatoes. And by the time he got done like dipping his last chew of like breadstick into like his spaghetti
bring
sauce,
more. They'll
he
bring
was
more.
like, I know. He goes, I think I'm gonna have a tomato stroke. That's what he said. And I was like, now you've experienced the Olive Garden.
Here we are.
This is the funniest fucking thing a 10-year-old has ever said. I think I'm gonna have a tomato stroke.
That's amazing.
I was like, yeah, that's how we all feel. It's the Olive Garden. That's part of the experience.
It's actually just assault sweats.
Yeah.
Oh, Barry, I think we should lead off with Oscar Wong since you just posted about him.
Oh yes, Oscar
Dude.
Wong,
Yeah.
godfather of Asheville craft beer, first craft brewery owner in North Carolina.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he had a illustrious career, and everything that he's done in that Asheville beer scene, but especially in the last year with all they've done. I mean, when Helene hit, and Asheville was reeling, and just based on the location of Highland Brewing, they end up being like the main logistical source of stability for drop offs of supplies, everything like that. So then it was really awesome to see them get some recognition from the president, and they had Good Morning America come by and just showcase how strong the Asheville community is. But
thanks to him as a pillar of it.
Exactly. I mean, he established all those roots, and then Brock and Leah took it over, and obviously great hands. But the one time that we went down there in 2020 January, I mean, he was so warm and kind and just down to earth. But then you also hear all the stories about him. He's larger than life. But then he says, "Oh yeah, let's go in the back room and join some of my buddies for Scotch night." And then, and I mean, of course, it was a collaboration day, so you're spending all day kind of sipping on beer. You're already feeling good. And then I woke up.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. But every time we've chatted and with him, he's just been super nice. So just it's very sad that he passed, but the legacy that he left is just amazing.
Totally.
So it was a fun celebration that I made. Two of our other staff members go on yesterday, and that was it made for a rough morning, but it was great.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well worth it.
Yes.
That was a baseball bat worth of news, man.
Yeah.
That's really tough. And I he's like Charles down. Like he's like what Charles is up here. Like there's huge pillars of the community, and it's just like and guys who have like stretched back for a long time, and just everything that's happened since they started is just rooted in their early efforts, and losing people like that is just fucking unbelievable.
Yep.
But legends never die, man.
No, not at all.
On a positive note, you started swimming again.
Yeah. Wow. You're just doing all the stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
How's it feel? Did it come right back?
Terrible.
This morning it felt terrible.
Oh, my alarm went off at 5:20 this morning. I'm like, I reap what I sow. So I'm there just standing there feeling terrible and breathing out green apples. Like just jump in the pool and you're sitting there doing flip turns. You're like,
just like high school.
or college, any of that stuff. Oh man, I forget how much you do the social media stuff. I should lock my shit down.
Yeah. Well, I saw it and I warmed my heart because I can't imagine doing flip turns.
No, but swimming's good. It's been something that I burned out on really hard into college. So getting back into it after 20 years and remembering, I mean, I tried to get back into it maybe 10 or 15 years ago, but I was not ready mentally at the time. Yeah. But to go back into a sport that you did and you were successful at, but also find some joy in it, it's a pretty cool thing where it just gave me a little more perspective on life too, where you kind of realize so many things I went through that I didn't feel great about or I absolutely hated. Maybe it was more, maybe your mental state at the time. It could be very much that, or as much as the situation itself just sucked. But it's been good, and been able to reconnect with some friends through it, and
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What made you do that?
Get back into swimming?
Yeah.
Because my knees are bad. Because
the doctor was like, "Hey,
I'm getting older, and brewery
you can't
work
keep
and all that
lifting these
stuff.
fucking grain bags, man. You gotta."
Yeah. So you can't. I used to always just go running, just go for a 30-minute jog.
How's the push off the wall though?
Pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I get to compete with people of my age and do well. That's great. Yeah, the young kids, the 25-year-olds, they're all fast. But
But
I'm having
on
fun.
your joints than running all
yes,
the time.
yeah,
So
very much
just the
so.
one
Yep.
push off
Yeah,
from there,
but swimming while hungover is definitely more difficult.
Jesus Christ.
That sounds
It's the second time in 2 weeks
awful.
too. I've been taking really bad care of myself this past 2 weeks.
But you're swimming. That's, I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
I mean,
called
life's all
balance.
about balance, baby.
Yeah.
It's called balance.
Everybody's like, well, at least you showed up. Like,
right.
leave me alone.
It's true.
That's true. Mason and I are training for to do the Mount St. Helens summit, so we've been like hiking pretty regularly.
Nice.
And I'm making them
Yeah.
like do squats with
Yeah,
me at
yeah.
night and stuff. And we did like a pretty fast 8 mile, like a really fast paced 8 mile hike on Sunday, and my fucking legs are still rubber. Like, and I mean, like, I hike, I walk backwards on my treadmill, like I do a lot to make sure that like I don't feel old doing that shit, and I felt pretty fucking old.
Are you doing it in snow or the rock?
The rock. Yep. So we're doing it at the end of June.
Nice.
And he's never been above tree line ever, but we hike a lot. But yeah, I don't know. I also felt very old for the first time in a while. I was like, why's my ankle feel like this? Oh, because I walked a lot, I guess. Like, is that all right?
It's a thing. It's a thing.
All right.
We didn't talk about what we were drinking.
That's true. Shit. What are you drinking, Barry?
Oh, I am drinking some Russian River Hill 56.
Row two.
Row
yeah,
two.
Row something.
Yeah.
Hill
Hill,
something.
yeah, they're Simcoe single malt, single hop,
The pale.
the pale.
Single malt.
Still got scotch
That
in the
works.
brain.
Yeah. No, I'm fine. I don't remember what it is. And it's tasty though.
Row
Good.
something something. Hill something something.
What are you drinking, Pedro?
I'm drinking the Lucky Envelope Grisette. I didn't catch the name though.
Lost Crop.
All I
Lost
saw was
Crop.
Grisette, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm getting that.
That's what I'm drinking, too.
Yeah,
Same.
it's delicious.
Delish.
What?
Tell us about
Talk-
this beer, man.
Yes, talk
This is a fun beer that we've always been talking about making a grisette, and we also know that they're the highest selling style
It's
in Washington
for sure
State.
the most popular
Exactly.
style.
Yeah, the 12 half barrels that we have in our cold room are a testament to how fast it's
Flying.
moving. They're flying off the shelves. But we kind of did it as part of our 10-year anniversary celebration. So we just wanted to make this because we've always been wanting to, and it's always been Ray's idea. That's what he claims. It's not his idea. But he's like, let's go make a grisette. But there's also been the really big push, especially from Garrett Oliver, but he also involved a couple people like Russian River
Yep.
about
They were
Fonio.
early on.
Yeah,
that.
they just came through Fonio, Russian River.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's been a big push from them, and I was kind of inspired to brew with it when I was at GABF this past year. I got to try Russian River's double with Fonio in it, and the character was really, really nice. So I said, if we're going to do any kind of saison style, I would love to bring Fonio into the mix. And with our discussions about getting a fun beer that we've always wanted to do in the books, we decided to do a grisette with Fonio, and it's a really cool grain that it originates in West Africa, and it's effective. It's a grass with a really tiny. It looks like sand almost. The grains are so tiny,
Super tiny.
but they're processed and they're ready for us to use as brewers, just straight out of the bag, just based on how they have to process it to get it shipped over. And it adds this really nice kind of. It's almost like a sake like character. There's like a touch of savory in there, but we didn't have difficulties brewing with it. My buddy at Russian River, when I texted him that we're going to be playing with it, he just said good luck. And
So it's
I was
always
like,
good to hear
"Uh-oh."
from a brewer, buddy.
Yeah, I was like, we're going to be in loads of trouble. But then I got to brag to him saying that we had no problems. And
Suck it, Russian River.
Suck it, Vinny.
Suck it,
Yeah.
You heard that here.
I feel like we've talked way too much shit about Vinny over the years for not having had him
I
on.
know, right?
Yeah, be careful.
It's
He's going to be
delicious.
down there probably.
I know. Next Tacoma Beer Week, Vinny, come up.
No, but we actually had some fun with it too. Like when we're doing like just cooking with it, just based on how fine that texture was. 'Cause in my head, I was thinking Fonio was going to be more similar to quinoa, something like that.
Yeah.
But it actually is more mild, so it's not as like that. It's not that nutty
Not as
sour
nutty,
thing.
Yeah.
But it's really cool where we just did microwaving it with some water and some salt, and it was super smooth. And I thought like the really cool application would be for like it's almost like a cream of wheat, but like you could do like shrimp and grits, but with fonio, and it would be awesome. And it's a lot. It's a lot. It's healthy.
What?
It's healthy.
Yeah.
It's healthy too.
Yeah.
I'm taking out of the butter.
Yeah.
Pretty nutrient.
Matt, I think you need to make that. I feel like you
gonna.
can
Yeah.
totally do that.
Barry, can you bring me off some fonio?
we have a measuring cup that we use to like show people, and I think only like maybe 50 people have put their fingers into it. So I'll give you that.
Hot water, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Hot water will kill everything.
I just can't get my grits to taste like yours.
Put a finger into it.
Yeah. Why is Garrett Oliver pushing fonio so much?
I can't speak for him, obviously, based on.
I should say what is
But based on
why is it important?
Yeah, based on the podcast I listened to and everything, it's kind of a twofold thing. So I think the big thing that kind of got him hooked originally, he talked about that was it's an African grain, so it kind of is a tie. It ties him back to his roots,
For sure.
which is huge. But then there's also the added benefit that fonio is an incredibly like agronomically
Super
efficient
sustainable.
crop. So you can grow it without additional irrigation. You can grow it without fertilizer.
Oh my gosh.
And the product that it makes is it's a fast growing crop too. So it's pretty fantastic when you're trying to consider all things, including like climate change, drought. It's a healthy product, and it's
super nutrient dense.
Yep, nutrient dense, and it's it sounds too good to be true. And so like there was some skepticism in there, but all my Google foo and kind of it's just looking at the resources that were available. It's it does seem to be a really nice product on that level, but it's
Yeah.
Samples.
I was just going to say.
Oh, I know. We have stuff to do. So
what?
everybody owes me that response when I do that shit. I swear to God.
Can we go with this?
Yeah, let's pop. I'm down to pop a Hellas.
I'm down to water, so I'm ready to go here.
So the fonio, like I love the push for fonio, and you're right. It is Garrett Oliver's story to tell. Maybe he'll be here and he can tell it someday. But I feel like it's important. Like, I don't know. You and I have talked about this. I've talked about this in the podcast. Is like, connecting like your cultural identity to a raw ingredient in beer is like a pretty significant part of connecting to the beer world, I think. And like, you would have a hard time finding somebody who's more connected to the modern beer world than Garrett Oliver. He has pretty much written every fucking book that is important in this industry, and has made some of the most important beer in this industry. So for him to like be excited about something like that is probably a good indication of like what the future of the industry is probably going to entail. And it's going to be finding new raw ingredients that are applicable to beer in unique ways that tie, especially like different consumer groups to this industry in ways that have, we've never really done before. Do you feel like there are other things out there like fonio that have just not really been explored by the beer industry?
Are you leading me to?
No. I'm dead serious. It seems like such a It seems
I
like
think I'm supposed to say tea, right?
You totally could. That'd be a great segue if I was professional at this.
Tea day, but no.
Yeah, no, there's nothing out there. There's zero.
Yeah, it's just barley. We reached the end of the road 4,000 years ago.
Yeah, no, I mean adjuncts. I think that's the perfect way to do it. And adjunct has a dirty word, and it's kind of a dirty word in some brewing circles. But I think those are definite ways to explore your connection to ingredients from certain areas of the world, or just ingredients that you've never used before. And for us personally, we have no issues using adjuncts, and there's that adage that they did it because there's cheaper than barley, but
sure.
Oh God, no! Adjuncts are expensive as hell.
Yeah.
So it's a really good way to explore certain flavors and get certain characteristics out there. But you can, when you just look at things like the way that alcohol is produced around the world, they use all the anything that you make alcohol out of, you can kind of use as an adjunct in a beer too. So
potato beer, here we come.
Potato beer. Hey, potato starch, it's great,
right?
But of course, corn and grapes and everything. There's a bunch of ways to do that, and of course, like for us, like rice is always huge, and you're seeing really good products or really good beers made with rice. I mean, I had the Single Hill Rice Lager before, which is delicious.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to that. And again, I don't remember the name of that one either. So,
Shinrin-yoku.
yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That one.
Of
It's a really
course.
good one.
No, I totally agree. And we do talk about this a lot. And we did an episode about what makes Mexican lager, which is funny because it's just like one of the most popular styles of beer that is relatively undefined for so long.
It's a cream ale.
Yeah, exactly. That's really what it is. But it's like, but there are breweries now in Mexico who are like starting to sort of do their own, like they're starting to define their own craft beer culture themselves, and not like big macro brands that are producing these beers. And it doesn't mean that those aren't a significant part of like the history of that, but at some point there's possibly a grain that has just not really been played with for beer, or an adjunct that hasn't been played with for beer really, and you might find it and then create sort of your own unique sort of signature flavor that can't be replicated anywhere else because it's something unique to that area. I feel like Fonio is probably the first big, maybe like mainstream or like legitimate sort of like doorstop for this. Like you're kind of opening the door to a world that I think we haven't really explored for like hundreds of years, basically, because barley is like the most perfect goddamn grain for this, but it's not the only one. And there could be things that make beer super unique. And I don't know, I love this beer so much. I love grisettes in general. But yeah, if you haven't tried Lost Crop Fonio Grisette from Lucky Envelope, and you want to see like what the future of the industry is probably going to look like, this is, I think, going to be a big chunk of it. Yeah.
Well, thanks.
Also, tea beer.
Yeah.
Tea beer. Tea House Beer Day.
Yeah. What's Tea House Beer Day?
Tea House Beer Day was an event that we threw in May. That's part of AANHPI month. So May is that's the celebratory month. And that's just one of the events that we decided to throw, in addition to a couple other ones. But we made 4 different beers, all featuring different teas. Some teas that we used before, but in different contexts. And tea is one of those ingredients that's been processed in so many ways. That can be processed in a lot of ways. And the amazing part is it all comes from one literal plant. And you get different characteristics just based on how you dry it, how you ferment it, and then the sheer amount of variety you can get from that it's pretty amazing. And then there's also the fun things where people add fruit, things like that into it.
Sure.
But yeah, tea is it. So we did that, and went over very well for that event. We had 4. So we had our Helles Lager that we brewed with oolong tea. We did
Is that this one?
Yeah, that's
but
that one.
not with oolong.
Yeah,
no.
that one does not have oolong in it.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we did a sour with the lemonberry sage tea. We partner a lot with Market Spice. They make some good teas, but there's also a lot of really good tea importers and tea selectors around the area too. So I don't want to just say them, but like they're ones we use on pretty regularly. And then a Lapsang Souchong Imperial Stout. So we've done versions of that, especially with our lager, to make a smoked tea lager, but smoked Imperial Stout. I guess at the time I was feeling very Alaskan brewing. So it's a smoked porter. I was thinking about that.
Sure.
And then we did a hazy IPA with our the lychee and rose black tea. So we've done versions of that, but that was the first version of that was our Metalox we brewed with Highland Brewing.
The beer is
at
fucking
Asheville.
incredible,
Yeah.
dude. Oh my god.
So we brought that back for a keg, and that one, of course, went very quickly, and that was great. But really good event, and as far as I can tell, is well received.
It is. I feel like you guys kind of own sort of like tea and beer right now. I think you're doing the most with it.
Yeah.
For the home brewers out there, if you had any advice on how to infuse tea appropriately in beer, would you give it out to them, or would you rather keep it a secret? Because that's totally
no
free.
secret, no secrets. I'm not going to tell you.
Fair enough.
No.
Paul's like,
Yeah.
damn it.
No, I got it. Yeah, absolutely.
These guys are doing Iron Brewer soon, and it's entirely possible that tea could end up being one of the ingredients.
Yeah.
So how do they avoid fucking that up?
The biggest thing is to watch out. Be aware of what kind of tea you're using. I think the biggest fuck up that you can do is using the wrong kind of well, not the wrong, using a tea with the wrong process to get the flavors that you're in a beer. So because tea is processed in so many ways, but like the one that, with last year's brew with Delightful and Gina, that alleviated a lot of my fears about green tea. But green tea is still like, it's such a gently processed product. There's so much chlorophyll in there. So it's very easy to over extract that, and you can get a very chlorophyll-y tasting beer.
Right.
There's one fuck up. We've done that, and we've done trial batches, and those just get dumped. But you can get, and they also can get very astringent very easily.
Yeah,
so
totally.
knowing how to process those, so you like those are definitely more like gentle extraction, cold extraction ways to do that, as opposed to like black teas, things like that. The ones that are fermented and don't have that level of astringency that kind of take over, you can kind of treat them a little differently, and you can actually use like hot extraction, and you're less, in my experience, you're less likely to extract all those tannins and get that kind of popsicle stick tea bag character in your mouth.
Sweet. Hope you're taking notes, Paul.
I'm really more intrigued. And I'm really in more questions.
But and then the dosing rates, it's almost, it just depends on your style, but anywhere between like, quarter of a pound to 2 pounds a barrel. You got the homebrewers can do the math on that. For 5-10 gallon batches. All that. But you have all those, but I mean, it's just like any spice, any ingredient. You can always you start low, and then you can always add more.
Sure.
You can't take it out. So
that's a good point.
You just got to be careful on that. But that's I don't know. Is that all?
No, that's pretty good, dude. I learned so much just now. We're gonna take a super quick break and crack a couple of these cans open. Hang out for just a minute. We'll be right back.
Woo!
Hi, this is Eric Hanberg, co-founder of Channel 253 and host of Citizen Tacoma.
I'm Doug Mackey, the sound guy.
And we are here because we are asking for your support for Channel 253 with a membership. $4 a month or $40 a year truly helps us keep this operation going.
And if you're feeling particularly generous, we do have another level that is $253 a year.
That's right, the Tacoma level. Whatever level works for you, you can support us. Keep us going. Keep the podcast flowing. We truly appreciate your support. Channel253.com/membership is the place to sign up.
And if you remember already, thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for hanging out during the break. As always, a shout out to Doug, our wonderful producer who makes us sound lovely every single week. Yay, Doug. Thank you.
Thank you,
Chris,
Douglas,
for putting us on.
Thank you, Fader, for giving me power.
Chris for putting us on YouTube every week.
Thanks,
if you
Chris.
guys haven't yet, please do go to YouTube and subscribe to the Brewing Podcast. And you can watch videos and clips, and it's super fun. Also, if you subscribe and leave like a comment and like and follow and do all that, we're going to give away some T-shirts, and they're awesome. So you should absolutely do that.
So comfortable.
They're so soft. And they barely show all the sweat. All right. It's toasty. All right. We have new beers in front of us. Ron, what is this big
We're
thing?
drinking a barley wine from the Lost Abbey.
Okay.
And it's called Bible Stories.
Bible Stories.
The
And it's
Lost
an
Abbey,
old-
not Lost Abbey.
Right.
The Lost
I
Abbey.
changed it on.
Did you guys get shit for that or something?
Yeah.
I'm
Really?
innocent.
From like a
So
fucking
I changed it
hyper
on
nerd?
Digital Pour
Oh, okay.
and across the nation, and everybody in the nation got upset.
Apparently, they lost their shit. They
So
couldn't handle
They
it.
called me and said, "Put it back."
Hang on. Hang on.
True story.
Because it's the Lost Abbey.
And it's good. Should be right.
it's the
he was
official name.
It's
absolutely.
the Lost Abbey.
And it said
Exactly.
Lost Abbey. I said, "That's not right. It's
That's
the
not right.
Lost Abbey."
And so you changed it on Digital Port to the Lost
Yeah,
Abbey.
and people in Rhode
As one
Island
should.
and Florida said, "Fuck that."
What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
They
You're
couldn't
like, you
handle
guys
it.
were wrong the whole time.
They
Like,
couldn't-
you're
I
mad
got
at me.
trouble.
Yeah.
So who called you? Lost Abbey called you?
No,
Or Digital
Digital
Port?
called
Oh,
it. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Change it back.
Yeah. He's
done
like,
fucked up,
hey,
Ron."
so
Yeah.
listen. If I can live with this, you can live with this.
I was with them, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
So the Lost Abbey, Bible stories.
Bible stories.
Okay.
Anyway,
I just love
we got
that
off
Digital
track.
Port got like fucking Karen complaints because
Yes,
you changed the name to the
it's true.
correct
to the
name.
correct name.
True.
Yeah. And then they were like, they caved, right? They caved to the Karens.
I would have stood my ground, Ron.
I caved.
Sean Jackson would have.
Cheers to Sean.
Cheers to Sean.
How about you guys just eat my whole asshole? Like he would just not even fucking acknowledge. Like,
Oh man.
this is lovely. Thank you.
It is nice.
This Lost Abbey is great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That,
So good.
So we're also drinking some Lucky Envelope Black Heart Dark Lager. And this is awesome. What is this, Barry?
look at that.
This is brew 1 of 5 as part of our 10-year anniversary
Which,
celebration.
congratulations. We didn't say
Whoa.
that. But that's
Congratulations.
incredible.
I've been laying it on pretty thick, so thank you for the acknowledgement now. So this is a really fun project that we've been doing where we're collaborating with our former brewers to make beers that they wanted to make within reason. There's only so many phony ogres that
I was going to say, You're like, we already did a Grisette, guys.
But
off the table.
So this one is with our brewer that we had. He's now at Georgetown, but Kyle and Georgetown and us, we have like a collaboration series going with Barley Ray Jepsen. So we decided to name this Blackheart, the very popular
Barley Ray Jepsen.
after the very popular Harley Ray song called Blackheart.
Oh, yeah.
So the idea we pretty much took that recipe, which is it was a Canadian rice lager, and actually it's a Canadian lager with rice and malted oats.
Oh.
So super light, super drinkable, low alcohol, and we just we made like a dark version of it for this. So
Dude, this is
we just
So
made,
good. Yeah.
yeah, we added some Munich in
Right
there
up to it.
to
Right up
make it like
yeah.
a little more on the malty side. So we didn't want to make it just like a black pilsner or black lager. So we wanted to just it teeters that sort of dunkel territory, but we reel it back by keeping it light. We still keep the rice, we keep the malted oats in there.
The oats are so interesting because it kind of rounds it out.
It
a
really
lot.
does. And,
Is this part of the? Don't you have something Saturday, like a reunion tour? Or is that last? Are you doing a reunion tour?
we have done one.
Okay.
We're working on it right now. So this is part of it. This is brew 1 out of 5. And it's going to go through just our different brewers, just based on scheduling and all that. Like whoever's schedules works out.
So like throughout the summer, probably.
Throughout the summer, and then we'll go a little bit into the fall as well. And then, then we get everybody come up. So.
Oh, I just saw the little logos.
They're
Oh,
so
how cute is that?
This is a phenomenal beer.
It's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope we get it.
It's also very different than any. We're getting a bunch of it tomorrow. So
Okay, good.
I got you guys.
Okay, good.
It's also super different than any like dark lager I've had in a while. Like it is like dunkel sort of, but
It's like
less
dunkel light.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's hard to describe.
Smoother, kind of. It's really good.
Yeah, we've been trying to. We were philosophizing about beer, and we're trying to figure out what style category
As
it would
one
fit
does.
in. No, we're looking at the Brewers Association guidelines. We're like, I don't know what it fits in. Like, it's like it teeters in the dunkel, but it's a little too light for that.
Yeah.
It could be like a Czech dark, but doesn't have the size, and it's still a little bit light for that too.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. But then the American dark lagers are like, there's the malt character is not as pronounced. So
Right.
I think this is just a tweener.
I guess, yeah. You would get scored low for this, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Or you would,
It's okay.
your note at the bottom would be like, this would be a really good blah, 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 like just a different category. Yeah. You should talk to Lyra about this. This is her whole jam is people who enter really high quality beers that fall in between categories.
See where she put it.
And when you're judging based on how close something is to an established rubric, you're kind of missing how good the beer actually is.
And then
by
you
itself.
have to default and throw it into the experimental category.
Yeah, which is fucking like next to all this other crap. Like this tastes traditional, but it still tastes different.
I'm glad you like it. Thank you.
It is wonderful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, but that many brewers on the label, it's got good vibes too. You know,
That's true.
Yeah.
there's just
Right.
good vibes to
You
keep
guys have
it.
produced a lot of talented people.
Yeah, no, it's
So let's see. What are the other breweries? So that's Georgetown.
Yep.
So you have 5 different brewers who are now 5 different breweries.
Yeah.
So cool.
So we have
that's
we can on the label, which is really great for the podcast. But everybody on YouTube, you can. I'm holding it up right now. I'm trying to give you the audio tour. So we have all the brewers there. So we have Josh, Peter, Kyle, Megan, and Matt. Josh was our first brewer that we had. He bounced around, but he's now at Sun River, and I think they're putting okay product out there these days.
It's all right.
They win award or two.
Yeah,
I guess.
they only got like medium-sized breweries
Yeah.
or GAVF. Like,
And then
Fucking
a three-way
Yeah,
collab, whatever.
most
Yeah.
insane up and coming brewery in the Northwest.
Whatever.
but they're doing amazing
So-so.
work, and Josh is still one of my I love that guy. So we're excited. We're going to do a West Coast IPA with him. The second one, Peter. So Peter Murphy, he was our longest tenured employee. Peter Murphy
From
from RoboCop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking nerds.
What just happened? Oh
It's all right. It was a quick pickup.
no! No electronics died in this.
No.
Yeah, it's all good.
Well, give it to me.
Of course, yeah.
Barely a tablespoon of beer.
Okay,
Very
we're
impressive.
We're fine.
So we're going to be brewing an orange wit with him. So kind of in that Blue Moon shock top category.
Sure.
Okay.
But the best part about that one, the name is going to be called Wit Wit Don't Tell Me.
Ah,
So we're
Peter.
That's awesome. That's good job.
and then
Thank you.
and then Kyle's with the Black Heart Dock Lager because we love Carly Rae Jepsen, and then Megan. She was the last brewer that we had before our current brewer Matt. She's at Holy Mountain now. Oh yeah, Peter's at Watts. So shout out to Watts, and he's doing really good stuff there. And then Megan, we're going to be doing an Italian Pilsner with. So it'll be an Italian Pilsner with one of the New World German hops, Tango and Saphir.
Oh, cool.
So Tango is basically like a more orangey, citrus forward, but we haven't busted the bag open yet, but I assume it's like on the German scale, so it'll be more like it's I don't know
A subtle version of
subtle.
It's not going to be fucking it's not going to be
It's not gonna be
Mosaic or
Citra.
Citra. Yeah.
And then
Splashed it.
later on we'll get Matt in there. He's our current brewer
Sweet.
at Lucky Envelope, so he'll get to
Collab with himself.
collab with himself. Yeah, I'm not going to help him out.
Yeah,
he's going to be there for the
totally.
collab day, and he's going to have to grain in for himself
Yeah.
and all that. I'm just be sitting on
Just
the
make him
chair.
take all the pictures of like
Yeah, exactly.
Really good.
And he's just be alone.
yeah. Just him in different positions, dumping hops and grain in and shit. Well, fuck, you guys are off to a great start.
Thank you.
We also just poured some watermelon splash around the table.
Watermelon Jolly Rancher is what I'm getting.
Dude.
Poured it on the
At
table
the corner
first,
store.
and now it's-
Also
Across
poured it
the
on
street
the
from
table.
Hank's
Oh,
Yep.
for 5 cents.
yeah.
Yeah. No, totally.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Jolly Rancher Light.
a
Yeah.
sour that we brewed with
The stick, not
With,
the little
uh,
square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a green rooibos tea in there, so it does add like this underlying like herbal character in there. But yeah, it is definitely heavy on that like that fun like Jolly Ranchery like Sour Patch Kid watermelon
Yeah.
character.
I have a
and-
feeling that people would not know that this was a fucking tea beer, but this
Yeah.
is a tea beer.
No, I didn't miss
It's
the
insane.
part.
Yeah, you
So,
can.
Totally.
I missed it. It
That's it.
totally took me back to my childhood.
That's fun.
There you go, Paul.
Seriously.
Me too.
Transported.
Yeah. Yeah. Stealing candy from Lugwoods.
Dude, I used
Dude, let's not talk about that.
to steal so much candy when I was
Me
a
too.
fucking kid.
I did too.
But I still actually where Delightful is now, it used to be Jiffy Mart, and it was Mr. Renner's before that. I would rollerblade down the hill from my house, and I would steal candied cigarettes and Jolly Ranchers. And I have the feeling, because I love Delightful Neighborhood Market, they do a fantastic job. But also part of me is like, I feel like I owe you guys from the dozens of dollars of candied cigarettes I definitely boosted from your store.
No, we lived around the corner from the corner store, which is across the street from
Yeah.
Hank's.
Oh,
And
yeah.
So that was our candy shop. And
Sure.
when I say
Yeah.
like the watermelon stick Jolly Rancher
I remember, yeah.
was like 5 cents. I mean, because this was a long time ago,
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably like 5 cents or whatever.
I used to live
don't
across the street from Mr. Renner himself.
Oh,
There
really?
you
He
go.
always talked about the fucking.
Yeah. No, that was me.
There's this
Yeah,
one
I-
kid.
Yeah, there's one kid.
Big kid, you know.
Yeah.
Steals all my princess
Big kid,
candied
long
cigarettes.
Candy cigarette.
That's my brand.
Oh, man.
The real question is, what kind of candy cigarettes were they? Were they the one with like the powdered sugar, or were they just like the sugar sticks?
It was like the stick.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
The
the
stick
powdered
one.
sugar ones.
The paper in the
powdered
powder, you
sugar,
can blow the
little-
smoke.
Yeah.
With the little red on the
The
end.
powdered
Yep.
sugar ones,
Yeah.
weren't those gum?
Those gum,
Those
yeah.
were gum,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I stole
Yeah.
like the chalky
They were
sticks.
pink.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The fun
they were not
sticks.
good. Yeah.
Cigarette
And
shake.
then-
Yeah.
I mean, with your Frisco freeze.
Just the fun dip fun dip sticks without the fun.
Yeah, they were a lot different than my dad's cigarettes. I don't know why.
Way different. Totally different. Oh my god.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a nice trip. Where'd it go? Oh, it's over there.
Oh, it's over there. It's so good.
And I were just plowing through these things. This is.
I know. This is
I'm
perfect.
here for this.
Well, you guys are releasing 3 beers this
Yes.
week.
Yes,
And
that's
this
great.
is all of them.
Fish our friends. That's
Let's
cute.
freaking drink some.
They'll be
I
out
know.
for.
Let's do it.
By the time you guys are all listening to this, these will have been out for a couple of weeks. But hopefully, you can
Wow.
still find Watermelon Splash, Blackheart, and then Fish
Our Friends.
not food.
Aw. That reminds me of.
By
What
the
is
time
Fish
you're
Our
listening to
Friends?
this, we will have slept it off.
Because
Yeah.
we were gonna. I mean, we have a very
goodness.
very elaborate naming convention with our hazy IPAs. We kind of talk about. We did a really cool one called a Citra hazy IPA.
Yes.
And then we did a really awesome one that I think some people were drinking called a Mosaic hazy IPA. And there's a newer hop that's been out for the last year or two, and it is awesomely, incredibly named Anchovy.
Yeah.
So we did not want to call it Anchovy Hazy IPA
Yeah.
because it's
yeah.
it is a name that is chosen for a hop. And,
It might.
Stupid Matt,
and
stupid
I'm
Brian.
sure
I know.
people are a fan of it, but it's it is a great hop, and we used it for the first time last year again with
For
our gin-
matcha, right?
with the matcha
Yep.
IPA, and then I got to pick Stefano's brain a little about it, like
Cool.
good ways to use it. But then we liked it a lot, and then we sampled it during hop selection this past year through Hollingberry, and then the anchovy was just awesome, and so we wanted to get that, and so that's what we have. And then so instead of calling it Anchovy Hazy IPA, we decided to call it Fish or Friends. So
You can totally taste the fish.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I'm
kidding. Yep. I thought it was good. Thanks, Paul. You don't have to lie to kick a dog. So if you guys are not familiar, anchovy is actually
Thank you for this because I was going to ask the
brainchild of
question.
Matt Storm and Brian Strumke, who have both been on actually in the past, and are both still fucking killing it. And yeah, this is kind of the new hotness in terms of like new hops in the Northwest. There's obviously like hops get produced every single year; they get named, but this one is like really particular to these guys. And
They kind of strong-armed them, right?
as far as I understand,
Yeah.
Again, their story to tell, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like, it's every beer I've had with that has featured this hop has been like so interesting.
Yeah.
And there is like this punchy kind of citrus, but then there's this
It's really good.
like really ripe tropical thing underneath where it's
Yeah.
like if you've ever had like guava or mango that's like just a little over, like it's just a little squishy and like has that like sweetness kind of, it like has that. And that's every anchovy beer that I've had has kind of done both, where it's like this sharp
So
citrus
good.
and then also this like sweet overripe fruit, and it's like so interesting. And usually you need 2 hops to achieve that kind of flavor.
It's delicious.
Lucky Envelope is just a new flavor factory.
Yeah, man. You guys are
There's always something new that I'm tasting. too.
Yeah,
Lucky.
dude.
It's awesome.
We like to play around.
Yeah, you do it well.
You treat beer like a culinary product, and you can always add some ingredients in there. But as long as you're not overpowering the base beer, that's the
This
base
is really
product.
good.
It's a really great way to go, and we like teetering those lines, and we want to make sure it's for the most part a beer first. For the most part.
And then whatever else comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been, like you said, you guys are celebrating 10 years with this
10 years.
this Brewers tour, which is incrable. There's actually a lot of 2025 is like the year of 10-year anniversaries, which is so funny. But what does the next 10 years look like? Any idea?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
That's a little question.
I mean, we're optimistic about the future. I mean, there's a lot of talk about. I mean, and it's rightfully so. There's a lot of doom and gloom out there.
Totally.
Whether it's with the beer industry itself, but also there's the outside pressures that are being pushed on us through multiple multiple ways, but with tariffs, taxes, and then also of course, people are engaging less with alcohol, which I think is also not necessarily a bad thing. So a healthy balance in there, and it kind of causes us. It makes us find our own healthy balance
Sure.
To keep the everybody's lifestyle going in a way that's not detrimental to them. So we signed new leases to our building and all that stuff. So we're not planning on going anywhere.
Awesome.
But the big thing is just survive and just continue to push on a lot of levels, whether it's on the traditional side. I mean, I was just telling you earlier, we're going more Reinheitsgebot compliant with especially our German beers, but then we still want to have that fun with those other beers, add that flavor and explore those new ingredients. And what I've learned is after doing it for 10 years, you get kind of okay at it, and it makes you a lot less fearless. You can charge ahead a little bit more. And
didn't you win a GABF medal in year 1, dude?
Yes, you did.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Don't bring it up.
So,
but I mean, it's a little bit of your brand, though, right? It's your experimentation.
Yeah.
Trying
So
things
it's trying to straddle those two sides. I mean, it's
Sure.
It's that great analogy of the buckets in both hands, but I think it's more sticking to your guns, and but there can be two aspects to it, and I think it's great. I don't know.
I agree.
Yep. Before we go into the fuck up story, I just wanted to mention that the first time you were on, you had a really great origin story. So if folks want to go back to that episode, do you remember what number that was or whatever? But
Ron, do you have that? Do you have it? Do you have
you
it?
can find it, folks.
Ron
But
probably has it somewhere.
I don't. Actually.
that's all right. But you can
Go
find
look for
it.
Lucky Envelope on previous
Search,
stories, which
right?
is
There's
true.
a search
It was a
Lucky
great story on
envelope.
how you got started.
I am curious if there are any any ingredients that you haven't played with yet that you're just this is the Mount Rushmore of I would love to be able to find a way to include this in a beer, but I haven't quite nailed it down yet.
Yeah, for us, I mean, it's the raw starches that I would like to play with more. All the different heirloom corns, things like that.
Interesting.
Those. I mean, potato would be fun, but the corn sticks out in my head a lot. Any of those starches,
so many varieties of corn.
any of those things where you need to cereal mash.
Okay.
So you need to vigorously process it. You need to boil it, effectively turn it into a porridge to be able to access those starches. That's those ingredients are the ones that we haven't had enough of opportunity just based on our system limitations.
Okay. There's so many varieties of rice and corn.
Yes, exactly.
How many haven't been played with in this
So would that be
way,
something like a polenta or something? Or I mean,
That's what it ends up being.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it does turn into that.
Okay.
Yep,
100%.
absolutely. So that's kind of that area where I want to do with the just raw grain. That'd be a lot of fun to play with, but we need some more capacity. And,
Sure.
an expensive piece of thing to boil. A couple 100 gallons of water and and grains.
We'll just get you a burner and a paella pan, and you can just cereal
Let's do
mash
it.
out in the front.
I'll gladly take donations if anybody's listening.
So do we.
Yeah, right.
No, you can't be the beggar. It's my turn to be the beggar.
Fair enough. You're right. All right, Doug, flip me off very gently, and I think it's time. Oh no, should we chug raspberry sour real quick? While we're drinking Lucky Envelope raspberry
We
sour,
can try it. We don't have to chug it.
would you happen to have any fuck up stories?
All right, Grit and Grainers. I'm Sean Jackson, and I fuck up all the God-blessed time, as we all do. So, please do regale us with your fuck up stories.
Have you almost died?
I mean, I guess the latest one this past week. Actually, it's the raspberry sour you're pouring.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I fucked it up real bad. It only tastes like that's the one that's the real anchovy beer.
Oh.
No, kidding.
Wait, what? What's happening?
No, that was
It's all odd lies.
No, that was the one where I swore I turned the carb off when I left on Friday, and then I came in on Monday to brew and I hear a
Uh-oh.
so it was sitting there all weekend with the carb on.
Sure.
And it was it was a little overcarbonated. I'm like, and then I had to spend an entire day just getting it back into spec, and that was it just like every time you're bleeding it off and you just smell that raspberry, and you're like, that should be in the beer.
Yeah, all of these volatile compounds escaping.
That was probably that was my biggest fuck up that I recently.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. That and opening a brewery. I said that in the first episode.
You
too.
did.
Yeah,
You did. It's all right.
That was 10 years ago. It's ancient history.
Yeah. Congratulations on 10 years.
Did I say it's 10? It's our
10-year
10-year
fuck up.
anniversary.
It's great.
Just letting you know.
10 years. 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah.
All right, Grit and Grainers.
80.
Email us at cheers@gritandgrainpodcast.com with your comments, opinions, and new ideas for teas, such as irresponsibility. When you need a tea that mellows your harsh and frees your creative soul for passing the buck. Now with more reckless optimism and zero plans. We read and drink everything we receive, and we try to respond as fast as we can. If not online, then on air. You can subscribe to Grit and Grain on Amazon, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. And please leave us a review. Also, check us out on Channel 253, Douglas, and gritandgrainpodcast.com. Jesus. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for episode notes, beer news, and reasons for why you would put a cat and a Super Mario sticker on a brew tank. It is, after all about subtle energy and shifts in awareness and decisions to let your Nintendo certified plumber oversee all the pipes and valves. It is all the focusing on micro and to affect the macro, to keep on, because you silently judge your wort. Whoops.
What?
To keep on, because fermentation thrives under the watchful eye of a sticker cat, silently judging your wort. Because sometimes merely refusing to stop cultivating the unquestionable lust of beauty and truth and pixelated plumbers and aloof cats is the most profound and important thing you can do to resolve to do your whatever.
Double
if this
episode.
podcast is not what you expected, please alter your expectations.
Now.
Wow.
What lucky envelope beers must you drink before you die? I will want to have lost crop in hand when I'm drafting my last will and testament, telling my wife I love her and I want her to remarry when I'm gone. No such thing as a bad time to visit Tacoma.
No.
No such thing as too much barley wine. Maybe there is. Tune in next Friday for more sweet chatter. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
Barry.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us at Grit and Grain Podcast wherever you get your social media and catch new episodes every Friday. Cheers.
Good up.
Channel 253 is member supported. I'm producer Doug Mackey, and I hope you will show your support by going to channel253.com/membership and join. Thank you. Grit and Grain is part of the Channel 253 podcast network. Check out our other shows: Nerd Farmer, Move to Tacoma, Interchangeable White Ladies, What Say You, Citizen Tacoma, and Kitchen 253.
This is Channel 253.